just want to give it a few more minutes, minute or two, hopefully maybe in the next 2 minutes to see if more people will join us.
Well, we're recording, so we can make sure people always catch up.
Anyway, I am going to give it a start. You're all welcome to the Black History Month of Wigan. We're quite delighted to have you all here. We thank you so much for honoring the invite and, for making time out of your busy schedule to just be with us and to celebrate with us. You're welcome again. I will just run through, a few of us may not have heard of CAHN or what we do or why we're here. So we're just kind of just give it like a very brief intro. Who we are, why we are here, and what we have been up to. And maybe from that point of view, you could also see how best to support us or to be part of our journey. So we said, my name is Bumi Iyere. I'm the locality engagement lead for this project, which is the Wigan Caribbean and African Community Project. Who are we? And how did it all start? This is a project of the Caribbean and African Network, you've heard, and we're called CAHN. And we are in Manchester, and Wigan is just an offshoot of CAHN being in Manchester. And the project started from the community engagement feedback, where Wigan Council actually confirmed that really there's a small Black community in Wigan, but there's that need to engage more. I'm sure some of our guests in the public sector may also recognize with this that there's the need for the Caribbean and African community to engage more with what is happening in the local community. So this project was actually born from that fact and the feedback. The project forms a forum for Caribbean and African people living in Wigan to come together and develop shared vision and values for inclusive participation in the borough. We want to participate, that's what we're saying. But we need that forum to be able to make more impact. And that is why the forum was created. Also, it is a platform for a formal communication structure with the public sector, local businesses, and the social life of the local community. When we have an organization like CAHN on ground or this platform on ground, it's an easy access and a structure for the public sector, local businesses and all that to get across to the Caribbeans and Africans in Wigan. It is also a forum that is expected to provide support to the Caribbean and African community in Wigan to strive better, and be imbibe in community life. The forum has been active since the beginning of June, and we're actually growing by the minute. And we're growing, more members are joining. Yeah. What have we done so far? We run regular activities through a Zoom platform. It's actually meant to be face-to-face, but with the COVID catching up on everything everyone is doing, we actually run the platform on Zoom, and it's been really popular. We have activities like weekly activities and all that, where we go into a lot of things. We talk about health, we talk about business, we talk about the local community, we talk about how to empower ourselves and things like that. We bring in some professionals, some of them are with us today, who actually come to talk to us, and we just kind of have a nice time together. We also build life skills. Some of this forum and some of the professionals come in, they talk to us maybe about saving, about budgeting, about how to own a home and things like that. We have provided support to smaller community-based organizations. It will please everyone to know that we have the smaller, even Caribbean and African, the smaller organizations, and CAHN has been able to provide support for these organizations. And for some of them, we've had success stories. Some of them have accessed funding. Some, have kind of developed a better structure and things like that. We have run a culture-based food distribution outreach for families in need of this, culture-based food outreach. And we have carried out a short survey. I'm sure that especially for those from the public sector, we may want to share this survey with you, in which we actually received feedback from the community on the impact of the project and what they would like to see in the community. Finally, I think I'm going on the last slide. How relevant are we? How relevant are we? It is a platform that provides a forum for Caribbeans and Africans to connect together and to connect with ourselves, to connect with the public sector, and to connect with local businesses and have a common voice. And also, this is a platform that has the potential to provide support. At the moment, CAHN runs a lot of other support services. We have like the mental health support services, we have the counseling support services, we have the domestic abuse support services. And so, you know, and we can also signpost where we don't have these services running. So CAHN can actually provide a holistic support to every community where we find ourselves, to the Caribbeans and Africans and to the wider community. And we can also facilitate and provide support to strengthen smaller organizations and smaller groups. And finally, it would provide, you know, this CAHN being in Wigan and being a platform and a forum for engaging. It's a place where we can all learn from each other, not only the Caribbeans and Africans, but with the wider community and with the public sector and with the businesses. It's actually a forum that provides that opportunity. Thank you for listening. We'll just go on to the next slide. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Yeah. Yeah, Aisha, can we run through?
Yes, hello, good evening. I hope you can see me and hear me clearly. My name is Aishatu. I'm one of the volunteers working on the CAHN Wigan project. And as part of the work that we're doing, we've been receiving such wonderful feedback and engagement with our community. And from that feedback, it really drove what we have as our theme for our celebration today, which is connection. More than anything else, what came up repeatedly from the members of our community here in Wigan was that they wanted to feel connected to one another, to the local community, to the services. They just felt a bit detached. And so we've got a couple of words today from Faye, who is the chair of the Caribbean and African Health Network, whose passion and work is what's actually directly informed the creation of the organization and come through to what we now have here as the CAHN Wigan project. And she'll just be giving us a couple of words on how it is that she feels our community's connections can help us deal with the inequalities we have in the area. Faye?
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. And yes, as I've just been introduced, my name's Faye Bruce and I am the chair for the Caribbean and African Health Network for Greater Manchester. So I just want to start off by saying I'm absolutely delighted to be here celebrating Black History Month with you in Wigan. Now, Black History Month is an exciting month because we really can shine the spotlight on the Black community and the contributions that we make to society as a whole. So it's great to be here. And also just to say that I very, very much see Wigan as part of Greater Manchester. I remember when I first came out to Wigan, it was a couple of years ago actually. It was part of CAHN and I came out to do some work to promote the Cancer Champions work, and that's where I met many people from Wigan and through Boomi, and we've had a great relationship since then. But I must say that when I actually got there, I never thought I would see so many Black people in a space. I never thought it would be that diverse. So it was a real delight to see that. And when we had the opportunity to identify an area of Greater Manchester that needed a kind of connection, then we looked at Wigan and we wanted to strengthen those connections and to see how we, as CAHN, could ensure that the communities in Wigan were brought together under this umbrella so we could actually address the health inequalities that we see. So yeah, just talk about health inequalities in itself. So health inequalities for CAHN is at its core. it's so central to everything that we do in CAHN, because what we see is that health inequalities in the Black community are pretty stark. They are, you know, it's almost as though if you look at every health indicator across, you know, a number of different conditions, you will see that Black people have far worse outcomes. And health inequalities are unavoidable, so they are avoidable situations that we are in, that we can do something about, and society can do something about that to address them. And we have an ambition to address health inequalities within a generation. So that is our vision, to do that within the Black community. But we can't do it on our own. We need to work with our communities and with the system to address those health inequalities. So as I said, it's very important. It's very much at the core, and we have been doing a lot of work to address those health inequalities. And as Bimi was saying earlier, you know, before the pandemic, we were doing a lot. We were putting on sessions, and we very much have a bottom-up approach where we speak to the community. We know the needs of the community. In fact, this whole organisation was founded on the needs of the community. It was a community that was saying, we need this to happen, and we have just been the vehicle that have been able to make that happen. So for us, you know, looking at a bottom-up approach where we will, you know, speak to the community about what their needs are. We look at the evidence base to identify what the needs are. So we know, for example, you know, if you're a Black person, you're twice more likely to have, you know, a cardiovascular related incident, you know, diabetes, mental health, a number of different things. And what we've done is we've looked at how we can address those. And every week since the start of the pandemic, so really since about April, we've been holding these community health hours where we're trying to look at how do we empower the community to come together to learn about those things that impact us, and how can we look at prevention and early detection of some of those health issues. So it's all about how we empower, how we enable, how we advocate. How do we bring all of these aspects together to ensure that our community is a beneficiary of health? How do we ensure that we have, you know, fulfill our potential by working together? So it's very important that we continue to work together as a community. As I've said, Wigan is very much part of that. We are a Greater Manchester organisation at the moment. We can see things happening that are taking us a little bit beyond Greater Manchester. However, Wigan, we can see so much that can happen here in Wigan, and you know, we're really delighted that CAHN is a part of that. So just before I finish, just to say that also in terms of Black History Month, I, for one, am delighted that we can now say that from 2021, that CAHN will be, well, Andy Burnham will be hosting Black History Month as a civic event. So CAHN has enabled that to happen. So we, as you know, for the last 2 years have opened Black History Month for Greater Manchester. We'll continue to do that, but it will be hosted by the Mayor. So we're delighted that that will continue from 2021. So enjoy the event. Thank you everybody again for joining, and Bumi and the leadership, thank you for bringing and making this project happen in Wigan, and we hope that it just continues to flourish. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those empowering and encouraging words, Faye. It's so important that we recognise that the success that comes through for all of us really comes from connecting to each other and being available to each other. And by her making her skills available has informed other people to support her, and that's grown and grown into the organisation that CAHN is, and has ended up reaching us here in Wigan. So on the topic of working together and connecting, with the theme of connection for Wigan, we really tasked members of our community with the challenge of telling us more stories, because we know that a lot of the time, a lot of unfamiliarity is what informs a lot of negativity that we see. And we felt that by having members of our community just share a little bit about themselves will help encourage our connection. And so we set up a challenge called Black in Wigan, and we had members of our community just answer a couple of questions about themselves. They're all loaded up onto our YouTube channel, and it's on our Instagram and it's on our Facebook. But I've gathered a couple of clips together as a highlight reel, and I'll play that for you to enjoy now.
My first impression of the United Kingdom was first and foremost the weather. It was cold. It was cold. My God, I was so cold. And then the houses, compared to where I used to live in Nigeria, in Lagos, the houses here are quite small. That was my first impression of the United Kingdom.
So my favourite place to visit in the UK is Jersey. Reason being that it's got the most stunning places to visit. It's got the most beautiful beaches and seaside. And the most favourite thing actually about Jersey that we did was dolphin spotting. So one of the mornings we literally just went out to the beach and it just looked like people were swimming, and unbeknownst to us it was dolphins. So as they came closer is as we went deeper into the sea, and yeah, we had the pleasures of watching dolphins swim, even though we didn't get to swim with the dolphins. So yeah, favorite place, Jersey.
Among many things I'd like to see in my community in Wigan is I'd like to see a more diverse community, where diversity drives every aspect of our daily activities, where everyone, irrespective of race, gender, and so on, could easily feel free and feel at home here in Wigan.
What I love most about Wigan, I'm just going to be honest, I love my church community. I go to today's community church, and they do have really a sense of home and very supportive. So that's what I love most about Wigan at the moment. And my boyfriend is from Wigan as well, so yay.
Hi, my name is Sauda Mirembe, and I've lived in Wigan for 6 years now. I am a university student and also part-time support worker.
Hi, my name is Rehema. I've lived in Wigan for 13 years, and I chose Wigan because I felt it was a safe place to raise children.
Hi, my name is Vicky Kamukama. I've lived in Wigan for 15 years, and my surname in my mother language, it means the child of God. Mukama means God. Kamukama, Ka means child of God.
So the last time I went to Ghana, it was in 2013. I decided to go because I just had my first child, and I wanted him to go before he would get a bit older. I wanted him to see my parents and stuff like that. He was only 1.5, so he doesn't remember, but I'm glad I took him so that everybody met him, my first child. It was quite nice.
Why Wigan? Well, when I moved into the UK in 2008, I was relocated to Wigan as part of my asylum process program at the time, and I really liked the town, the people in Wigan, and I had a few friends around from Africa, as well as some English and British people who really I worked with, and I developed some friendship and kind of relationship, which I thought really was interesting, and I thought I could stay here and have a family and really prosper, and that's more the reason why here in Wigan. And I found a peaceful town as well.
Hello, hello, hello. I hope you enjoyed hearing those stories. I was quite excited going through them. And we've got full-on clips from all the different people who participated. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see more about people. And it's so important. It's so, so important that we are visible. Ooh, deeply sorry about that. Apologies. And I think it's so important that we remain visible with our varying stories, because there is such a diversity in the Black community. And we know that we have often been seen in quite a narrow light. And so it's so important that we hear different angles and different stories, and all the people who have participated, all the people who have actually participated in that video, they don't have identical stories. They come from different places and have come to Wigan for different reasons. And we're just hoping to enrich all of our lives by being able to show that. Now, next in the program, we've got some avid supporters of the CAHN Wigan project in particular, and they have come through today to show support and give us some lovely messages. So the first person who's going to be speaking is Clement, who is a published author and a professional speaker, largely on business and finance, and she is coming up for you right now. Hello, Bibi.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for the introduction. Just like she said, my name is Bibi Clement, and I've had the honor and the pleasure of being involved with this organization for a little while now. I was invited to speak in August, and I was able to speak about how to start a small business. The first thing I want to say is huge congratulations to you guys and the work that you do. Your leaders are so passionate about this whole call, and I think it is a call, really, it's a call to the community, and I have bought into that passion, and so I'm really proud to be able to serve in some way or the other. I know that the theme today is about connection, and there are just a couple of things I wanted to say about us being connected. I think as a people, we must start to work together. The day of each and every person, be it an organization, be it a business or whatever, doing it to death on their own, that day is over. We've now got to start to come together. And there are just two ways that I'd like to quickly discuss in which we can come together and make a difference. The first one is economically. As you've heard, I'm quite passionate about business and entrepreneurship. So the first one is economically. And I feel that in order to connect properly, we must begin to collaborate, to make conscious decisions to buy Black and to begin to keep the money within our community as much as possible. Now, there are numerous business networks that we can get involved in. I would encourage you to do that. But like I said, we must begin to collaborate and assist each other and be of service to each other. What my business can do to help you, I need to find out. What your business can do to help me, I need to find out. And can I encourage you to start businesses? I can't emphasize that enough. If anything good at all has come out of the whole COVID-19 thing, it is the fact that the concept of job security has totally gone out the window. There is no more job security. So we must begin to set up our own businesses. And for those of us who are parents, we need to begin to instill in our children that rather than be job seekers, they should seek to be job creators. Our children need to get an education and then come back to our community and begin to build our community ourselves. It is being economically free that gives you a voice. Whatever land you are in, that's what gives you a voice. But what is the use of a voice if you don't use it? And this brings me to the second way in which we can become connected, and that is politically. Too often we are standing on the outskirts of what is happening politically as a people. And I would encourage you to join a political party, but not just join, become active in that political party. Somebody said something the other day that I thought this was really interesting and really true. She said, if you are at a banquet and you are not invited to eat at the table, then you can be sure that you are on the menu. And when I think of that concept in relation to us as a community, I think too often we have been on the menu. So now is the time for us to find our space at the decision-making tables, wherever they may be, and get involved and speak up on behalf of our people. The day of us living a chauffeur-driven life when it comes to things that concern us, and by that I mean when we're sitting in the back seat of the decision-making process of our people, that day has got to be over. We've got to work with other communities, and then work with each other in ensuring that our voice is heard, and that which we need in relation not just to health, as your chair was speaking about the inequalities that happen in the health space, but in other areas as well. We have to be in the driver's seat of our own lives in relation to our community. So once again, I just want to say congratulations and thank you for letting me be a part of this vision. Thank you.
Those are spectacular words. Those are spectacular words. Thank you so much. There's so much to go away and do with just those couple of minutes. So we're so grateful for your support. We continue to appreciate the support that you have given to us and the connections that you're helping us make. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the great things that are going to happen for our community right now. There's so much empowerment going around. Now, the next person who's going to be joining us today to send us some words of encouragement is Jenny Bullon, who is a Labour councillor for Ashton. And she is a new friend of ours, but goodness gracious me, she's been so proactive and she's been so encouraging. So it's lovely to finally see her face today. And yeah, let's hear from you, Jenny. Jenny, have you turned your mic back on? I think we're just having some technical situations. Hi, Jenny. I saw you come in before and I can see you're here.
Yeah.
Can you see me now?
Yeah, we can.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can't quite see you just yet.
Good.
There you are. Hello, Jenny.
Okay, well, if you can hear me, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of difficulty with the machine. It's sticking a little bit this afternoon. But thanks very much for the introduction. As well as being a Labour councillor in Ashton, I'm also on Wigan Council Cabinet with the portfolio for children and young people and families. So I was so pleased when you got in touch, you made that connection, and how important is that? And what a great theme to have chosen for the celebration today, because I believe that connections are what makes us human. And I think in order to connect, we need to communicate. And of course, there are many, many different ways of communicating. This is one very good example of how we are communicating today. And I think during the current crisis, communication and connection has become so important. If we didn't know it before, we definitely know it now. So it's lovely to be in touch with you. Fortunately, I was able to do a little bit of networking so that I was able to make you aware of one of our lead members for equality as well, Paula, who's going to speak to you later. Yeah. And I was also able to make a connection with some of our young people leaders as well. And I know that these connections won't just be for today, but they will be something to work on in the future, because that's what we're looking to, isn't it? A future with all the connections that we need to make. So thank you for that. And I'd just like to finish, if I may, with a few words from Mayor Angelou, who is one of my most favourite authors. 86 when she died, but what connections she made and what an influence she had on me, certainly, in her writings and in her readings. And what Maya said was, with regard to connections, she said, I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you do, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And that's the important emotional side of connections, isn't it? So thank you. Lovely to be connected.
Oh, that was wonderfully poetic. You should write a lot more, Jenny. Well done. Thank you so much. That's been so encouraging. We really appreciate your time. And on that topic of connection, we have members of our community who have proactively tried to ensure that even the smaller groups within our community are connected to the broader community. And we've got a handful of them who are going to be saying a couple of words to us today about what they're doing in Wigan and how they're supporting these connections to help all of us live fuller lives. And the first one of them to speak today is Isaac Diallo. Isaac?
Oh, hi, everyone. Glad to be here today, Black History Month in Wigan. My name is Isaac Diallo. I'm from Guinea. We are literally a very small community in Wigan. So when we first came in Wigan, we have many barriers which are cultural, linguistic barriers, because we come from a French-speaking country. So our community people have issues accessing certain services. So we decided to organize as a community in order to empower our members, in order to promote engagement within the community, better connection and integration, and also promote diversity. So the Guinean Association has been here for almost 4 years now, and we're working with CAHN and other organizations around Wigan to help us better integrate. Like I said, there were many barriers which we're trying to overcome day by day. And CAHN has been great support to us in accessing certain services, like health services, and accessing some advice and counseling, signposting, which we really appreciated. And I think together as a community, we could do a lot more, and we're trying to keep that connection going. Thank you very much for having us this evening, and thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Isaac. I know you can feel shy sometimes, but you do such marvelous work, and you always get out there and you're doing so much for your community and for our community at large as well. So it's great to see you. It's great to see you. It's great to see you doing all these great things, because it helps encourage other people as well to know that they could also push forward. So our next speaker for this evening is Mickey, who is from Ikaya Empowerment, which is another local group that works to support another section within our community, again, using her skills and her passion to support people to help their lives be better. And so, Mickey, are you here?
Yes, I am. Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Mickey. So I'm one of the directors for Ikaya Empowerment, and just wanted to share with you guys today. Number one, thank you very much for joining our celebrations today for Black History Month. And secondly, I'll just share a little bit about what we do, and yeah, that's it. So Ikaya Empowerment formed last year. And what we do is we provide a supportive hub for women, and literally single women, single mothers, women that are just disadvantaged by life events. And we provide social spaces for them. We provide opportunities for them to make meaningful relationships. Just integrating them with within the community, sorry. The other thing that we are working on doing at the moment is just working alongside our local organizations. We're still in the making of finding organizations or building relations with organizations that are going to be helpful to our ladies. So people that might be coming in to us, especially people of the BAME community, because we can be a bit quieter when we need help. So we're providing a platform for them to be able to come in, seek for help, whether they're coming from an abusive relationship. We know how to signpost them to places like DIAs, whether they're coming in because they need a bit of help in filling forms, or just doing stuff that's related to everyday tasks, really. So we'll be working alongside council, we'll be working alongside local organizations, and most importantly, we've been granted an opportunity to partner up with CAHN as well. So we're really looking forward to just embark on a journey with the BAME community in Wigan, but then again, just to stress that we're not limited to just helping the BAME community, excuse me.
Of course,
So
we're always having effect.
Our community, but our main focus, obviously, like we said, will be the BAME community. So stretching through around our community and everybody else that might need help. So do feel free to get in touch with us. Our contact details will be in the chat in a few minutes, and we'll be working alongside. I'll just mention, sorry, quickly, 2 organizations that we'll be working with very closely, which is Idaraya Life, which is going to be helping us with getting fit, getting healthy. We'll be working with Ekaya Montessori, which is a local childminder at the moment, who's looking to provide emergency childcare, respite. And if you are in a position where you find yourself, you're really desperate for childcare and you might not be able to afford it, or it's an emergency thing where you need to go for a job interview, get in touch with Ekaya Empowerment and they can organize and get you in touch with our services.
Nice, swift, practical help to help.
Yes.
Sometimes it can be the most basic and everyday tasks that cause restrictions on our lives. And it's so fantastic that you've made yourself available with your organization to provide that quick, swift help that can just help people get across many challenges that they come up against. So thank you so much for your time, for your continued support.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me.
No worries. And so coming up for us next, we have the councillor for Astley and Moseley Common Ward. Now, this is Paula Wakefield, and something that gets me really excited about Paula Wakefield coming to join us today is that diversity and inclusion are specifically within her portfolio. So we are really, really so excited that we have discovered her, she's discovered us, and we're going to get to do some fabulous things together. So I'm really looking forward to hearing a couple of words from you as to, how you see the connections between us building up to something fantastic.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. So I'm Councillor Paula Wakefield. I'm a councillor for the Astley Common Ward, but also the lead member for equalities and domestic abuse at Wigan Council. Thanks for inviting me to this amazing event about how we can celebrate and build connections with each other. My role as lead member includes championing and fulfilling the council's equality commitment, which is a statutory requirement under the Equality Act. It is worth mentioning as well that as a council, we are not afraid to be bold. There are 9 protected characteristics in the Equality Act, but we've gone even further. We have 3 extra protected characteristics, which include carers, veterans, and also what I class as working class or sort of low income backgrounds. They class it socio-economic. That's the posh phrase we have to put down, but that's basically what it is. So we're not afraid to be bold at the council when it comes to our decision making. I also help to shape policies, working to ensure that Wigan is a borough that welcomes, celebrates and embraces diversity, working with partners including the police to create safer communities and promoting social cohesion. So just wanted to go through how the council is working to improve equality, diversity and inclusivity, first of all. So the overarching strategy that we have at Wigan Council is something that we call the Deal. And at the moment, we're working towards a plan called the Deal 2030, which is based on feedback from the whole community as to what they would like to see the council focus on. And one of our key priorities is to create a fair and inclusive borough where all residents can flourish and reach their potential regardless of age, sexuality, sexual orientation, race, disability or social standing. So being inclusive and valuing equality and diversity is at the centre of what we do. The Wigan Deal is well known across the country for the way it's created a close working partnership with its communities and residents to make the borough the best place that it can possibly be. The Deal focuses on people's strengths and talents and empowering people to make a difference to their local communities, with a big emphasis on early intervention and prevention. Equality has never been as high on the agenda, with the impact of COVID-19 on vulnerable groups, BAME communities and those disadvantaged in society, and with the emergence of Black Lives Matter following the tragic death of George Floyd in America, which sparked much needed conversations around race, history and equality. We know the COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted stark inequalities that exist within our communities, including health, economic, social, race and other protected characteristics. It has a disproportionate impact on BAME communities, ageing populations and disadvantaged communities, and its legacy will be felt for years to come. So as the lead member for equalities, I'm leading a refresh and refocus on our approach to equality and diversity to make it a higher priority for the council and to involve our partners in the community so that we have an effective and collaborative approach. By working closely together with our communities, we hope to improve our services, policies, processes, communications, and more so that they meet the needs of all our communities. And we would very much like to invite CAHN Wigan Network to be represented on our Equality and Diversity Steering Group to help us shape those policies for the future to make sure the voices of those that you represent are heard.
Wow.
We also have strong connections with Greater Manchester Combined Authority, and it would be great if CAHN Wigan could also help with that work in this area too, and be aware of the opportunities of representation at a GM level.
Oh, good.
We are also working hard to address the deep economic challenges we face as a borough on the consequences of COVID-19 and how this will impact on the poorest in our communities. You may have seen recently that Wigan Council have stepped up and is providing 10,500 meals to children who are eligible for free school meals over the half-term school holidays, supporting Marcus Rashford's campaign to make sure that no children go hungry through no fault of their own. On the health front, during COVID-19, we have done a lot of work to support refugees and asylum seekers, many of whom have come from African countries. We work with a number of charitable organisations who support refugees and asylum seekers. This work has included creating a task force group which contains a number of different organisations which support refugees and asylum seekers. This task force is attended by the Home Office, and we've had positive feedback from them. They state Wigan is doing a great job in supporting refugees and asylum seekers. We've worked closely with charitable organisation SWAP, which stands for Support for Wigan Arrivals Project, which some of you may have heard of, and the Health Outreach and Inclusion Team, which is commissioned service from Public Health.
Wow.
We also have officers that work with refugees and those not granted asylum, and they've identified 3 strands where help and support may be needed. First of all, on guidance and self-isolation messaging. So with regards to language translation for the signs and symptoms document and self-isolation messaging, and team working with schools to support messaging and to help translation to parents. On access to food and support, if someone has a worry about COVID-19, needs a test or has a query, they can get in touch with SWAP, who will help them, help to get these people a food parcel and the support needed. And on testing, they might struggle to have access to the national testing sites due to lack of transport, etc. So the local testing site will go out to them. I'd also like to talk, obviously it's very, very appropriate to what we're talking about today and why we're all here, Black History Month. So as a council, we've strongly supported Black History Month with a range of information, activities and communications throughout the month, which can all be found on the council's website. It's just so important that as a council we heavily publicise this initiative, especially this year, so that we can increase awareness and understanding of the issues faced by Black people, the contributions that they make to society, and to be able to signpost residents towards more information and support.
And I'd like to add to that, actually, Paula, that on seeing how much support and how explicitly clear they've made it that they are in support and they feel like it's something necessary. I know that there was some backlash that I saw on social media, and I really appreciate and respect the fact that Wigan Council took a proactive step to respond to these and make their position clear on what it is they felt about those kind of attitudes. And sometimes it can be really hard to make your position so clear in public services. So it is truly appreciated. And everything that you said, like so far, there is so much information in what you've given. Like, I know that is a lot for us to take away. So I'm definitely going to go back to the recording of this to tally down every time you said you want to do something with CAHN Wigan project. I'm noting it down and I'm getting in touch with you pretty swiftly, because I know our steering group are going to be so keen to do stuff with you. So
you won't escape that easily. Don't worry, I'll be begging you. Don't you worry.
So I want to say thank you so very much. Honestly, thank you so very much for what you've shared with us. And I can't say how much I appreciate how forthright and how seriously you've taken this as well to come so well prepared. So
listen, under my watch, if equalities is under my watch, it wouldn't be anything else. Don't worry. So the agenda is there. I'm very, very passionate about it, you know, and it will always be high on the agenda. And somebody mentioned politics before as well. I just want to quickly say it's so important. I'm a massive advocate for getting more people involved in politics. We need more diversity in the council. It's predominantly always, you know, very much been a male and white thing, local politics. So we need more diversity. We need to look like the community that we represent.
And we are absolutely keen on that. So don't worry about it. We are going to make sure, and we've got such high quality. We've got people who are so proactive and so engaged, involved in the project, that I'm feeling really encouraged and empowered by it all.
No, absolutely. And well done to you. Honestly, absolutely fantastic job.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Your time is so appreciated.
No worries.
Now we've actually got to the point in the program, and we're just a couple of minutes behind, but we won't miss this opportunity because we have a community quiz. And there is a prize for the winner. So I'm going to wait for our quiz master today, Femi, to come up onto the screen, and he's going to give us our basic ground rules to engage with this. But anyone who knows me knows that I love a good quiz, and I love I love a bit of competition. So luck is going to favor who knows how to press the raise hand button and is willing to speak up. So don't be shy, get engaged, and I'm sure we're all going to leave here learning something today. So Femi, are you here with us?
Yes, I am.
Yay.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's been nice, and I've been learning a lot and also getting to know a lot about what is going on and people. It's very interesting. So today we'll just be looking at a few questions. We've got a few questions on, they're more of Black history, and it's not limited to the UK, but it's a general questions, most of which are UK questions. So I'm just going to throw it open to anyone who is willing. It's just, if you're interested to pick, to get involved in the quiz, just raise your hand, and then we give you the opportunity to pick from questions 1 to 14. Read out the question and you just give the answers. If you want options, I'll give you options. So waiting for the first person who would want to have a go.
So
yeah. Anyone raising a hand, just press the raise hand button and then we just bring you on.
I'm going to kick it off. And just so you know, just because I'm part of the hosting team doesn't mean I can't win the prize. So if you're not brave enough to come forward, you might just let me go away with the win.
Don't
So
worry,
let's
they're
go.
not going to be difficult questions. They're not really difficult questions.
Oh, don't say that, because it's going to be embarrassing when I get the answers wrong. So
it's for us to learn. Don't worry, you're gonna get it right. So you've got 14 questions, Aisha. Do you want to pick one? And I'll read out the questions to you.
Question number 7, please.
Question number 7. So this person is the first neurosurgeon to separate the Siamese twins. Do you know who the person is?
I need options. Absolutely need options.
I'm gonna give you options. The first one is Dr. Benjamin Carson.
Okay.
And the second option is Dr. Bruce. The third option is Dr. Alan Smith. So which one do you think it is?
My mind says number 1. I feel like Carson rings a bell to me.
That's spot on, correct.
Yeah.
So Dr. Benjamin Carson is an American politician and author, and is a retired neurosurgeon. He served as the 17th United States Secretary of Housing and Urban Development since 2017.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we've got a hand raised.
Go on. So please bring the person on. Who is the person? Let me see.
So Adila, have you got yourself on mute?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I was gonna pick Benjamin Carson, but like it's not. It's the answer, so it's not like
So you choose the next question.
I'll do the next question. Yeah. Okay, go on.
Right, go on, Adila.
Oh, am I doing the next question? I thought you were gonna give us the questions and I'll.
No, just pick a question. You've got from 1 to 14. We've got 7 already picked, so pick any other one.
Where are they? Sorry.
No, just choose a number and then he reads the question out.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I picked the number 5.
Number 5. Who is the first Black woman MP in the UK? If you want options, I can give you options.
Yeah, please.
All right, so I'm going to go with the first option is Ada Smith. The second one is Diane Abbott. And the third option is, I'll leave it open. No option. So choose between option 1 and 2.
I think Diane Abbott because that name sounds really nice.
Well, that's a good guess. Well, the correct answer is Diane Abbott, and she's a Labour MP. She's still an MP. She's from Hackney North and Stoke Newington from 1987. Right. She's the first Black woman MP in the UK. Thank you very much. So does anybody else want to have a go?
Angela had her hand up before, and it seems, there you go. She had her hand up. I think she's put her hand back down. So come on, people, we've got 14 questions and we've got about, there you go. Aisha and Sauda have got their hands up and they're ready to.
That's fine. We don't have to go through all the 14 questions, but as many as we can take before the time runs out is fine. Yeah, who's the next person?
We have just about 6 minutes more.
That's fine, yeah. Anybody else? Okay, you've got 2 people. That's fine. So you can take 2 questions. So which one is the first question?
Okay.
So choose a question. Go for it.
Question 2.
Question number 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is the first Black nurse to work in Britain's NHS?
Options.
So I'm going to give just 2 options.
Okay.
Right? So that it's easier for you. So the first one is Chief Koforola Abeni Pratt. And the second one is Chief Helen Cole.
The second one, Helen. Is it Helen? I think it's Helen. Yeah.
Sorry, the answer is the first one.
Ah!
The Chief Koforola Abeni Cole Pratt. She moved to England in 1946. She studied nursing at Nightingale School at St. Thomas Hospital in London. She was the first Black nurse to work for the NHS. Right, so you can pick another question.
Question 1.
Question 1. Who is the first Black person to win the Nobel Peace Prize? I can give you options if you want.
Please.
Right, sorry. So the first option is Malcolm X. The second one is Martin Luther King Jr. So who do you think it is?
I'll go for Luther King, please.
That's correct. Martin Luther King.
Yay.
She's an African-American civil rights leader and was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his nonviolent resistance to racial prejudice in America. At 35 years of age, the Georgia-born minister was the youngest person ever to receive the award. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We can take 2 more questions, pretty please.
Can I
That's
speak
fine,
question,
yeah.
please? Hi, Aisha. This is Bolaji.
Hello, who do we have here?
Bolaji speaking, please. Hi, Femi. Can I pick a question?
Yes, please, you can take a question.
What are the available questions for?
Question 4. Based on latest statistics, what percentage of the UK domiciled students enrolled in STEM-related subjects at universities are Black? I'll give you options. We have option A, 6.2%. This one is just gonna guess through anyway. 6.2%. We have 50%. We have 70%. STEM courses are of science, technology, and engineering. I think maths. I'm not sure. So, but you've got basically you have a very low percentage of people. So, what do you think? Hello.
0.6.
It's 6.2%. So you have 6.2% of those people that are black people, and 4.8% of them are Black African. But this is just to encourage us, just so we can know that there's a low number of Black people studying STEM-related courses, and it's just to get us aware and for us to encourage our children to go into these courses to study, science-related, technology-related courses. The percentage is very, very low. It's just 6.2%. Thank you very much. If we still got a few minutes, can we still take one more person?
We can take one more question if someone's feeling really keen. And
Hello,
I think
I said 6.2.
Sorry.
I don't know. Hello, did Femi get my answer? I said 6.2. I don't know.
I didn't hear you, but you're correct. 6.2 is correct. I didn't hear you.
I kept saying 6.2, 6.2. Okay.
You're probably on mute, but I didn't hear you. That's correct anyway.
Yeah, I think we're a bit short in time. Maybe we'll take just the last one.
We've got one last question to take, and I think Morenike put her hand up before. And so if you could unmute yourself, Morenike, you can choose your question.
Okay, can I have question 8, please?
Question 8. Okay. Right, I'm going to ask you this one. It says, so she was an American activist in the civil rights movement. The United States Congress has called her the First Lady of Civil Rights and the Mother of Freedom Movement. She rejected bus driver James F. Blake's order to relinquish a seat in the colored section to a white passenger after the white section was filled. Who is she?
Option, please.
The option 1, you've got Rosa Parks. Option 2, you've got Louisa Martin. Option 3, you've got Koforola Pratt.
No, I'll take number 1.
Which is Rosa Parks. That's very correct. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So yeah, I already told you what she did. She was, unfortunately, she passed in 2005. She was a very celebrated person after fighting for the rights of Black people, and the segregation in the bus was abolished due to the protest that was held back then. the boycott, the Montgomery boycott was called. Thank you, everyone. I hope this section was educative. You've learned one or two things. Thank you for having me, Aisha.
Thank you so much, Quizmaster. It's much appreciated. It's always fun seeing what we know about ourselves. And so, although I know we've gone over on time, we've got some highly acquired guests that we would really love to hear from. And then we have a live poetry performance by Pauline Omoboye right after. And I'm so looking forward to that as well. So first of all, I'd like to welcome Anthony Okparavero, who is the Patient Engagement Officer for Northwest Ambulance Service. And he's going to speak to us today, just briefly on what it means to have connections with our community for the Northwest Ambulance Service. Anthony, are you still here with us?
I'm still here. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm just going to share a quick slide just to take us through, to guide us through, if that's okay. Go with me. I'll get this through. Where are we going?
Right.
Okay, can we see that?
Yeah.
We can.
Okay, so that's my name, Anthony Okparavero from the Patient Engagement team at the Northwest Ambulance Service. Basically, what I want to try and do is, usually we want to give you a quick update on how the ambulance service has been coping over the pandemic period. As you will have known, when it hit in March, one of the first things the government said is don't call 999, don't go to the emergency department, call 111 to get advice on medical advice on what to do next. And obviously this meant that our call centers got quite inundated with calls, and reduction of 999 calls meant there was less traffic to the emergency department. One of the things we're quite keen to do is make sure we give assurance that everybody that was being taken to the hospital we're responding to felt safe. And one of the things we're looking to do is see how we can better understand the experience different people from our communities experienced with using our services. Given that we've only got a short window of engagement here today, I'll just like to quickly ask, how many people used the 111 service so far during the pandemic? Is this something that was used by anyone in the community, in the group? No?
Not over here. I didn't use it. I used it beforehand, but not during the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been told not to.
Okay. The whole idea, if you remember when the pandemic hit, the message from the government was that call 111 to get advice and guidance on how to respond to the different symptoms that were being seen as related to, COVID-19. But obviously with the shutdown of the hospitals to protect the NHS, people who use patient transport service, i.e. to go to hospital appointments, were not able to do that. The only services that we kept running were those who were the regular users, i.e. those that were going for dialysis appointments or those that were going for oncology, cancer treatments. So we still maintain that. But in order to ensure that they were safe, we made sure now, instead of sharing a vehicle, it was one patient to a vehicle. And that was one of the ways we tried to give reassurance. And obviously when you call 999 for medical emergency and you needed to be transported, we made sure all our staff had the right PPE. We made sure all the necessary checks were done with the patients and ensure that they were taken to the right hospital. Okay. And over this period, we've shared different types of information about the pandemic. We've used different social platforms. We've used the website. We've used the news. And the other thing that I would like to ask is, will anyone be worried about using the ambulance service at the moment? If you can just call out if you have any concerns about using the ambulance service at the moment.
No, I think it looks safe enough from the news and stuff. After they've said that they've got all their PPE and stuff. Before that, they were struggling with PPE, so not sure, but now I think it should be okay.
Okay, all right, that's good to know. And then obviously, just a key question here, quick one here. Which number would you ring if it was not an emergency?
111.
Hey, someone was paying attention. Well done. So basically, one of the other things we're looking with winter coming and obviously the onset of the second wave of the pandemic, will, for those that are of the health position whereby they need to make sure they take the flu jab, if you can, please take the flu jab. Contact your GP. If you've had it before, take it as soon as possible to make sure you're covered. Okay. In terms of the question about connection, what we're doing as a trust is to better understand what our service users need from us and how their experiences have translated. One of the key things we're beginning to see as well is that, as we know, with the onset of the COVID pandemic, there was a lot of impact on the BAME groups within staff as well as community. So it's important for us to engage with everybody to understand how we can support you to ensure that you have the reassurance and the service you need is delivered in a timely fashion. So we are undertaking engagements, virtual engagements, because obviously we can't go out like we used to meet with the different communities. And CAHN has been very, very very proactive in building the connections and the networks with which we can plug in. So going forward, one of the things we're looking to do is to engage with your group to see how we can drill down to your specific needs in your area, in the Wigan area. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving us that time. I know it can be so difficult to be super concise in these kind of avenues, especially when there's so much good work to share and there's so much that's happening. So again, we really appreciate your time, Anthony, and we're looking forward to welcoming you to our forums where I know we can get a lot more interaction going.
Definitely.
Now,
we look forward to working with you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank
you.
you. So our next community stakeholder who's coming to speak to us today is Elliot Collymore, who is coming from the Greater Manchester Police, and he's specifically the positive action officer, and we're looking forward to hearing what it is that Greater Manchester Police would like to let us know today, because we know that there's great opportunity in working hand in hand with the police to make life that much better for us here. Elliot?
Hi, yeah, I'm here. Thank you for that pleasant introduction. Yeah, so as it was said, I am Elliot Collymore. I work in Greater Manchester Police in the Positive Action team as a Positive Action Officer. And if people aren't aware exactly what Positive Action is, I'm hoping it is kind of common knowledge now. It is essentially, we are looking to ensure that our organisation reflects the community that we serve, which at the moment is very important due to there's a large disconnect with just amongst community in general and the police specifically in regards to the Black community. Now, my role specifically is to ensure that we always maintain a dialogue with the Black community, because there is a history of disconnect and a history of institutionalised racism within the police, which has since, from my perspective, has all but been eradicated. And Positive Action is essentially about encouraging people from the Black community to consider a career in the policing, because as it has been mentioned before, it is mainly about empowerment, because we all want to make positive change in our communities, and ultimately the only way to do that is to ensure that people like us are in positions of power, to ensure that we have a seat at the table when decisions are made. One of the main ways that we hope to kind of address the disparity in the organisation is to one, We go out into the community to various different events. So we go to universities, we go to churches, we go to supermarkets, anywhere that we think will be able to target a good portion of what's really true representations of our communities. So we can engage them in a conversation and show them that the police isn't necessarily what the media is pushing. Of course, like, I'm 25 years old. I've been in the organisation for 5 years now. I started as an apprentice. I was working some frontline roles for 2 years. I was in child sexual exploitation, and now I'm also a member of the BAPA, which is the Black and Asian Police Association, as an executive, where I am frequently called upon to help make decisions that are better for the community. Now, ultimately, it is about ensuring that everyone within our network understands that there are positions here for people if they should want them, and to really offer a counter narrative. And I'm hoping that Greater Manchester Police, not only from a positive action perspective, but from a wider organisational perspective, can really engage with CAHN Wigan and the wider CAHN network to ensure that not only you guys, not only that you guys get a say, but you also have the opportunity to truly influence how we do things going forward.
That's fantastic to hear. Thank you so much. Honestly, I have so much gratitude for all the support that is just outpouring, because we've just reached out and the engagement from the public services has been marvelous. It's been so humbling, and it's so encouraging to see you as an actual example of someone who's engaged and is dealing with that counter narrative and showing that there is so much that can happen and there is just so much more to achieve and that we have the opportunity for. So thank you so much for your time today, Elliot. I'm hoping you're enjoying the evening so far.
I'm absolutely loving it.
We are now onto the section of our event that I am really biased about, because I've already heard Pauline perform before and I absolutely love her style of performance. Born in 1958, Pauline was born to Jamaican parents who arrived on the Windrush to suppose greener pastures and to help rebuild post-war Britain. They and so many who arrived with them proved invaluable to the success story that Britain currently is. And so Pauline did discover her talent and her desire for the spoken and written word at a very early age. And she's gone on to hone her skills through several experiences, even being in a writers group with Lem Sisse, as well as a women's writers group called Naila, which means one who succeeds. She's a published poet and has had her work included in several anthologies, and some of her contributions to these anthologies we will be hearing today, as well as some of her new work. She is a mother of 4 and a grandmother to 8, which she is incredibly proud of. And she's still writing new poetry and creating artwork, which is vibrant and particularly rich because she uses a wax resist technique called encaustic art, if you're curious about that. And it really speaks to her African heritage. Her playfully relatable and visually evocative way with words really shines through profoundly in her open and expressive natural style of performance. So you're invited to sit up and let her speak straight to your heart. Here she is, Pauline Omoboye.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to say, I cope. For kids at home, I cope. Electric bill, gas bill, water rates, I cope. Buy new shoes, need a new coat, school trip to France. I think I cope, because then there's the grocery bill, headache pills, poll tax. Yes, I cope. Feed the goldfish, take the dog for a walk, entertain friends, hoover, cook, polish, mop. I know I cope. Be doctor, be nurse, teacher, psychologist, referee, father, mother, peacemaker, dictator, counsellor, listener, ignorer, judge and blooming jury, and they have the cheek to call us the weaker sex. Gee whiz, I know I cope. Thank you.
Marvelous. Thank you so much, Pauline.
Thank you, Pauline.
My next piece is called The 24th of December, and it's about my mother. She came to this land, 56. She sailed the ships for weeks, left her homeland and her family for riches she did seek, followed her husband to a country for a future she could not predict, to a land of milk and honey, she was made to suffer it. She came with a tiny baby, 6 weeks old, lay in her arms, to a land so cold and lonely, nothing to protect her from all harm, to a house with many strangers, in a room fit for a pig, but she made this place a home and raised her kid. And like all the wives before her, she soon found a factory job and woke in the early hours just to earn a few measly bob. Left her kid with an unwise reminder, set out at the crack of dawn, and with 15 others in a minibus, they would travel until morn. The conditions, they were treacherous, and although she did despair, she came to make some money, just enough to pay the fare, and sent for the son she had left behind, no money to bring him on the boat, and every time she whispered his sweet name, it brought a lump to her throat. She came to fend for her family, left behind in that beautiful land, where the sun shone and reflected its beams amongst the sand, where the sea so blue it shimmered and rippled laughter in its depth. She came and barely whispered, she often wept. Many a tear she said, shed in silence, and every 2 years she bore a child. She cooked, she cleaned, she polished, work all the hours that God sent, but hard work and perseverance paid off in the end. She came, she saw, she conquered. She's my mother and my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Pauline.
Thanks, Pauline.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
I enjoy writing poetry, not just for the adults, but for the children as well. And all mothers and fathers all over the land are going to know what I'm saying when I say, can I have a lolly, mum? Can I have a pear? Can I have what's in the cupboard, mum? Can I have what I see there? Or can I have 5p, mum? Can I have a drink? Can I have that straw in the drawer, mum? Can I have that cup on the sink? Or can I have some dinner, mum? Can I have some cake? Can I have it on my special plate? Can I have a hug, mum? Can I have a kiss? Can I have all your love, mum? Can I add you to my can I have list?
Oh, that is so fantastic. Oh, Lord, thank you so very much, Pauline. Have you got one more for us?
I've got two more. And the first one, sorry, I've got three more, very quick. The first one is called Hair, because I wanted long hair flowing down my back hair, flick it to the side hair, part down the middle hair. I wanted hair that's straight's hair, blow it in the wind hair, not get tangled and stuck hair. I wanted hair that holds a clip hair, slide through my fingers hair that is fair hair, not natty dread or picky hair. I wanted real hair, not pretend with a cardigan hair. I wanted hair that had a flare hair, cut it in a bob hair, do a Vosine ad hair. I wanted hair, and guess what? I am blessed with Negro hair, curly, tough and bouncy hair. It took a while to understand hair, my doo-doo plaits and my hair. My afro big is smart hair, coming from my roots hair. A spring in my step is good hair. Wash it, shrink and stay hair, not fly away or blonde hair. I'm told I have my mother's hair, black and strong like me hair. My hair is what I'm proud to wear, so there.
Thank you.
Thank you ever so much, Pauline. Honestly, I honestly could listen to you all day, but we've got time for one more. If you could choose one more for us, pretty please.
This one will tell you a little bit more about my life, and it's called The Whole of Me. Part of me lived while part of me died. Part of me screamed while part of me cried. Part of me strong while part of me weak. Part of me yelling, the other scared to speak. part of me here, the other part there, part of me strong while part lived in fear, part of me healed while part of me bled, and part of me lived while part of me dead, part of me present while part of me doped, part of me wishing, the other part hoped, part cared for my children while buried inside the hatred and anger, the search for my pride, part of me willing, the other part able, then all of me threw the bad cards on the table, and finally solid and all my tears shed, I banished the nightmares and hold up my head to sing out the words of my favorite song. There's something inside so strong. And by looking within, just see what I found. The best of me brilliant, the whole of me sound, part of me wicked, the whole of me wow. I'm Pauline, I'm sexy. Just look at me now. Thank you.
Thanks, Pauline.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I just knew it was going to be spectacular having you here. And honestly, thank you so much for your openness and just your natural way of just being so engaging and so exciting when you write. We really, really appreciate your time today. We're so grateful. I'm just going to say that I will be popping Pauline's email address in the chat as she sells her work. You can see one of her pieces in the background. Yay! Apart from being a creative verbally, she's actually also an expressive artist, and you can see some of her fine art there. So if you are interested in seeing more of her work, you can get in touch with her, and I'm sure she'll be more than happy to get creating something for you. So thank you again, Pauline. So we've got to the point in the program where I know we've mentioned children a couple of times today already, but we actually tasked the children of our community to produce a piece of work for us, just so they're visible and you can see them, that they are very much, they are so valuable and they're so vital. And we do say children are the future, but they really are. Just as when we were children, we were there then, and now we're here now, and we're making these strides in our life. The more we can empower them, the more we can encourage them, the better it is for all of us. So they read a story called Mama Panna's Pancakes, which is a lovely story about community and really fit in with our theme of connection, about how when all of us provide our little bit, we are definitely greater than the sum of all our parts. So I'm going to get this played for you. And just to say, it's actually available on our YouTube channel, along with the rest of our videos, and you'll be able to enjoy it in full. I'll be sharing a shorter clip of it today.
Mama Panna sang as she kicked sound with her bare feet, dousing the breakfast fire. Adika, hurry up, she called cheerfully. Today we go to the market.
Surprise, I'm one step ahead of you, Mama. Adika stood in the doorway, dressed in his finest shirt and cleanest shorts. I'm ready now, Mama. Panna had to hurry.
After sewing her parts, gathering her bag and slipping her feet into something, Mama Panna called, I'm ready to Adika. How are you? Here I am, Mama, 2 steps ahead of you. He sat under the baobab tree, Mama Panna's walking stick in hand.
Ah, yes you are. She accepted the stick and led them down the road. What will you get at the market, Mama? Oh, a little bit more and a little bit more. Are you making pancakes today, Mama? You are a smart one. I guess I can't surprise you. Yay! How many pancakes will you get? Mama fingered 2 coins folded in the cloth, tied around their waist. A little bit and a little bit more. Rounding the corner, they saw Mazie Odalu sitting by the river. Habari Azabuhi, Mama asked softly so she wouldn't chase away the fish. Adika blurted out, we're having pancakes tonight. please come. Adika, Mama whispered in his ear. Muzi Odola way back, saying, Asante Sam, I'll be there. Mama quickened her pace. We had to invite Muzi. Adika said, he's our oldest friend. Hurry up, you're a few steps behind, Mama replied.
Look, Mama, it's Sawandi and neighbour Adika's friends tapped long weeds against the thighs of the cattle, moving them along. I'll be just a few steps ahead. Wait, Adiki, Mama called. Mama hadn't gone too far before he returned. They'd be happy to come, Adika panted. Mama Panya frowned, thinking about the coins in her lap.
Oh, how many people will that be? Let's see, Swandy, Naaman, you and me, Adika counted, Z, Adolo, that's only 5. Hey, how many pancakes do you think I can make today, son? I'm 1 step ahead of you. You have a little bit and a little bit more. That's enough.
At the market, there were many buyers and sellers trading fruit, spices and vegetables. Adika spotted his school friend Gamila at her plantain stand. Mama, pancakes are her favourite. Now, don't you? And before he could finish, he ran to greet her. Mama tried to catch up, arriving just in time to hear. You will come, won't you? Of course, Gamila replied. Mama shot a stare at Adika, quickly grabbed his hand, whisking him away. Mama, we'll be able to stretch the flour. Ahi! How much do you think I can stretch flour, son? Adika waved in the air. Oh, a little bit and a little bit more.
At the flower stand, Mama said, Adika, you sit here. After greeting Bibi and Bwana Zawena, Mama asked, what can you give me for my money? She offered the larger of the 2 coins to Bibi Zawena, who scooped a cup of flour onto a piece of brown paper. Adiki popped up. Mama's making pancakes today. Can you come?
Oh, how wonderful. I think we can give a little more for that coin. Buona Zonina put a second cup onto the paper and then tied it up with a string. We'll see you later, Mama.
Hello, hi.
You and I will be looking to share half a pancake. Mama, you will have a little bit and a little bit more.
Okay, keep up with me. We may have just enough left for a small chili pepper. Leave it to me, Mama. I'll get it. I'll get a good one. No, Adika, she cried out, but he ran ahead to the Rafa cayenne spice table. Mama got there just in time to hear Mama's making pancakes tonight. Can you come? I'd love to, Kaya exclaimed. She grabbed the coins from Mama's hand and replaced it with the plumest peppers. That's just enough.
Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for watching that. I really hope you found it as sweet as I did. I think we are looking for someone from Kenya who speaks Kiswahili though, because I know some of those pronunciations were beyond cute, but probably far from accurate. But I thank you so much for the attention, and the children have been so forthcoming and they've been so courageous to just come out and speak. And they're not trained actors, these children. They've just been told that there's a story we'd love them to read, and they were also encouraging and so happy to get involved. So I really hope you enjoyed that. I recognize that we've gone over our allotted time, but I think it's really important that I say thank you. I say thank you to everyone who has attended today. I know that Bumi would like to give some specific thanks, and then our Chief Officer, Charles, would be more than happy to help us close the event with some lovely remarks. So Bumi. Hello, Bumi.
Yes, hi, yeah, I think I'd just like to appreciate everyone who's honored our invitation. Councillor Paula Wakefield, we appreciate you. Councillor Jenny Bullon and Tony Aparavo and Elliot. We're quite delighted that you've joined us. We appreciate your time. It only shows the support you have for our community, and we're quite very receptive of the love you have actually kind of stretched towards us. And we look forward to actually working with the public sector, with Councillor Paula and the public sector, representing CAHN and the Caribbean and African community, to partner with you, to work with you for the well-being of the Wigan community and the Afro-Caribbean community. We appreciate everyone that has come. Before my chief officer, Charles Kwaku Odoi, will be rounding up with his own words, but as a representative for Wigan, as the Wigan girl, I'd just like to appreciate everyone for their time. I hope that we would have more opportunities to come together like this again, or to share, to benefit, to learn from each other. Thank you all for coming. You're all much appreciated. And for everyone, friends, family, volunteers, thank you so much. The volunteers, you've just been amazing. Thank you so much for making this a success. I just hand over to Charles to close the event.
Thanks very much, Bumi, for the opportunity. And, once again, congratulations to yourself, as the project lead, and the amazing, fantastic volunteers whom you've worked with over the last couple of months. It's been great, and it's amazing once again to see the connections that you've made in Wigan, and that it's the theme for this event, and we can see the connection into the local authority, connection into statutory services, connection more importantly to the community, because we're delighted to have had support from the People's Health Trust, who didn't want us to come with an agenda, but a blank sheet of paper. And the challenge was for us to create connections within the Caribbean and African community in Wigan. And from, our young people that have presented to, the other speakers, it's very clear the connections that you've made over there. I'm inspired, and I'm encouraged by the positive testimonies from various people in Wigan, about why they chose Wigan. So please keep pushing that out, keep sending that on the Twitter handle, so that, people will know what a fantastic place Wigan is. The challenge we were thrown by BB and, seconded by, our two amazing councillors, for our community to join, a political party, and not just join, but become active. The challenge we've been thrown, not to become job seekers, but job creators. All these, we're going to take that away, so that even as we build connections, as we strengthen ourselves, then we can become more united. We've been told that in order for us to connect, we need to communicate. And that's really important in these dark times. I mean, this morning, for those of you who may be on the Greater Manchester, WhatsApp forum, sadly, a Black young boy is taking his life. So some of us are really devastated. So, in closing, as we celebrate Black History Month, let us take time to talk to one another, connection. Let us take time to make sure that we're genuinely committed, and connected with the relationships we have, so that it's not just a tick box exercise. And, definitely we will be putting our weight behind, the steering group, behind the entire project team, as we create some real connections with the various sectors, right across Wigan, so that, our other Black, brothers and sisters who are not connected to the Wigan project, they will be connected. So that the other Black-led organizations that are not connected, we will make sure, we create those connections and those links, so that together as a community, we can, contribute our quota to the development of Wigan. So once again, thanks everyone who is connected to the project, who continues to give their time. It's very much appreciated. And what keeps driving all of us, as Faye mentioned earlier on, and as has been the theme throughout, is the legacy we live for our future, generation. So let's stay connected one to another. you know, in these dark times, let us look out for one another. Let us keep checking on our neighbors. For those of us who are parents with children, let us talk openly with them and to them. You know, let us find out how they feel like, you know, with all the resurgence of Black Lives Matter, let us make sure that we get our children to be connected to the local community, because this is home now. Yes, we've come from different parts of Africa and the Caribbean, but this is home, and therefore we got to stay connected to our local community, contributing our quota, enriching our local community so that it becomes a better Wigan. So thanks everyone for your time, and stay connected with the project. Over to you, Bumi.
Yeah, thank you all. We hope that we would meet. I really need to give special thanks to Councillor Jenny Bullon. Honestly, she actually created a lot of connection for me, you know, contacted this and actually showed me who I should contact. So special thanks to you, Councillor Jenny Bullon, and for all the amazing volunteers. Thank you so much, Aisha, too, for your time, for putting most of these things together, and for all the volunteers. Till we meet again. Thank you so much, and bye-bye to all of you. Yes, bye. Yes.
Take care, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Bye, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, and bye-bye. Thank you all. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Elliot. Catch up with you soon. Yeah.
Thanks, Bumi.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all. Yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you to the CAHN team. Thank you. Yeah. Bye.